Good morning.
Good morning.
My husband, Dwight, and I, and our two daughters started coming to this church in the 70s. We started out not giving our fair share to the church, not on purpose, but because we didn't understand that what we gave was not our fair share. I remember that Sunday when my commitment to this church changed. I was sitting where you are now, listening to a person like me, giving a talk like this one, and when I had this strong emotional realization, this church was essential in my life, the life of my family, and it was an essential voice in the community. I had to support it so that it would always be here for me, my family, and my community. We started pledging significantly more that year, and we have continued to increase our pledge every year since. In my early years here, I taught RE and eventually chaired the RE Council. When our daughters went away to college, I served on the board and eventually became president. During that period, membership in the church was essentially stagnant. Some of us got together to talk about how the church needed to have a shakeup. We came to realize that we had a responsibility to make our church known and inviting to all like-minded people in search of a religious community. We came to understand that growing our church was the measure of fulfilling that responsibility. We had to be deliberate about growth in our church. Moving out of that stagnant mode was a tough challenge. We had to grow our staff, we had to grow our programming, and we had to expand our church building. We divided to conquer. I took the responsibility of the building transformation. It was no easy challenge. We had not had a capital campaign in 60 years. It took us 3 years of self-searching and planning before we finally committed to a building project. We gave ourselves over $1.5 million to update and grow this church structure that you use today. I will never forget that day we celebrated the completed building project, the gratitude and the pride we had. We gave our children beautiful spaces. We gave our staff quality space. We made a huge, beautiful open space for us to be a community together. That day, I had a huge lump in my throat. I could not speak, and at moments I could not hold back the tears. At one point, I had to hide in the coat closet. Over the years, I have learned that being a member of First Unitarian is a privilege and a responsibility. The privilege is being a part of a community of fabulous people doing fabulous things for each other and the world. The responsibility is the stewardship required to do all those fabulous things. When you pledge this year, I challenge you to consider your fair share. What does this church mean to you, to your family? How important is it that this church welcomes and embraces like-minded people seeking a religious home? How important is it that this church serves you, its members and friends, with high-quality programming and opportunities hard to find anywhere else? How important is it to you that First Unitarian Church of Des Moines is a strong and effective voice for justice? Let your pledge reflect that value.